Yo, what's up, guys? RJ from Steady Trades uh, with another educational video. This time surrounding chart patterns, some of the most recognizable chart patterns, the most used chart patterns in terms of bullish continuation, bearish continuation. Just want to show you guys kind of what some of those look like and how you would trade them and stuff. So we'll start with a cup and handle, one of the very popular ones on the market. A lot of people love trading cup and handles. And a lot of these are going to be based off whatever time frame you're using. So if you're charting something on a 1 hour chart versus a 5 minute chart, then you can expect for there to be more move in that direction on the higher time frame, right? As opposed to the lower time frame, you'll still get the move, but more often than not, you'll get a bigger move on a higher time frame. So keep that in mind with the context of, what the move could do based on the time frame we're doing things on. So we'll start with a cup and handle, and you can see the previous uptrend right here, right? And then we can see the cup and handle forming. We take the measured move of the cup and handle, and then once we hit resistance, right around this area right here, and we break above that, there's your cup and handle, there's your target, and your target will be your measured move, right? Just the distance from the top resistance point and then the lowest part of the cup, right? So very popular, and you can notice the volume begin to increase and stuff like that. So I'll show you as we move on how those two correlate. All right, so a bullish flag, right? A bull flag, probably one of my favorite, very popular as well. I'm going to go over the ones that are probably the most popular in the market and the most used per se. So here's your flag, right? Or your flag pole, your measured move. And then here's your consolidation range or your flag, right? Where you see we're stuck in a tight range like this. And then you're noticing volume start to increase as we break, right? And your target is typically going to be the length of the flagpole, or at least half of the flagpole, right? In this case, it is the entire length of the flagpole, and it's where we would take profit. Also, we take profit, based on the chart, according to where we're going to our next resistance point. Could be a pivot from the previous day. Anywhere where you're seeing the stock have trouble at, is going to be your next target, right? So, bullish flag, very popular. Love it. A bullish pennant, very similar to a bullish flag. Only difference here is that instead of us making a tight consolidation, we're starting to squeeze inside of this pennant, right? We don't have horizontal support and resistance. We have more of a trend line kind of up here and then kind of down there. And then you can see how it coincides with the volume increasing and the break, right? Here's your measured move. There's your target, so on and so forth, right? So very basic. Just want to give you guys some high level, some high level information around how you chart these things. Maybe you'll begin to visualize them as you analyze charts day in and day out, right? So measured move, there's your pennant, right? We're stuck in a range. We break above it. You see volume increasing. There we go, right to our target. All right. A falling wedge. Now we'll go over, actually we're still on bullish ones, yeah. So we get a strong uptrend, right? Very strong uptrend. And then we begin to fall immediately. The likelihood that this continues to just reverse to the downside is probably unlikely, right? So we begin to notice that a wedge is forming, and we can draw that wedge by running a top trend line to the bottom and then one underneath like such. And you see we're stuck inside this range now, right? And then as we begin to break from the falling wedge, you see volume begin to increase, right? And then we start to push right up to, and our target on this will just be high of day, right? We're not trying to get greedy. We'll push right into that and take profit accordingly. Not every trade is the same, obviously. So most of the profits that you take, you should look left and find where your previous day pivots are, or where you have resistance overhead. Any area of interest above should be your target, right? I think people complicate that a little bit too much. Just take profit where it makes sense. You don't want to take profit immediately and then miss out on what could have been, an extra 40, 50, 30, 30%, whatever. It could be significantly more than where you took the profit at if you're rushing. So see your trades through, right? So falling wedge, Very basic, but hope you guys are grasping the concept of what we're trying to put out here. Also, bear in mind, a lot of what I'm showing you right now is available in our server, in our educational section, and there's significantly more content. I'm just kind of, showing you guys a sneak peek of what we offer and what some of these things look like. All right, so we'll move on to some bearish examples of some chart patterns. So the inverse of the bull flag, right? We have a bearish flag. So we have our flagpole, right? Our measured move. Here's the break of low. And then we begin to consolidate in a range that would coincide with horizontal support and resistance. And then a break following that. And then there's your volume beginning to increase as such. And our target would be the measured move, or once again, if we're looking left and we're finding an area of support, previous day pivot or support from prior trading days, right? So, bearish flag. All right, a rising wedge, right? Also one that I like very much. I took a seminar and refer to this as an H pattern based off of the seminar that I took that day with one of the hedge funds, popular hedge fund. So there's two ways to look at this, right? You get a strong downtrend, and then the inverse of what we talked about earlier with a wedge or a pennant is we start to see, after we slide down, we're noticing a trend, right? An upward trend. We're starting to see that, and then we deviate from that trend again, right? And then our target is the lowest point of formation or the low of day, right? This is where our target would be. We do get a little bit lower than that. No big deal. We're not greedy. We're taking profit accordingly, where we're supposed to, right? Now, I said there was two different ways to look at this, right? One of the other ways is an H pattern, a lowercase h, right? So here's the top. There's your H, right? H. So rising wedge is an H pattern. I love it, especially in this market. Currently recording this in August of 2022. We're, in the midst of a bear market per se, arguably. And so this pattern has presented itself multiple times in the past few months for me. And I've reaped the rewards of some pretty significant gains because of it. So pretty good one. All right, and a bearish pennant. All right, very similar to that, except that it's not rising, right? It's more horizontal, but it's still moving up in a channel, right? So measured move down. We're not getting higher at this point, so we chart the fact that we're not getting higher. We're stuck at this resistance level, but we are making higher lows, right? So any deviation from that with an increase in volume will set our target. Enter, right? We don't want to chase, so we enter here on the green candle. And then ride the puts down, right to the target. Could be low of day once again. Could be, pivot from the prior day, or just support from days prior, as we said before. So just wanted to go over a few examples of some chart patterns with you guys. Nothing too crazy, but I think these are probably the most popular across the entire stock market. The ones that I see the most per se, the ones that I trade as well, the ones that we trade in our server. And like I said earlier, guys, there's a ton more in our educational section. I just went over high level of what we offer. If you guys want to check out more, obviously sign up for the server, ask us some questions. We'll be glad to help you guys out. All right, have a good day. Thank you.